This is part 2 of all those cameras that I got. Let's check this one out. This is the digital cameras. See if any of them work and what we can do with them if they don't. Here's the second box of crap, as they call it, cameras and stuff. We'll take a look at what was in this box. Some of these are empty boxes, such as this Panasonic DMCFX digital camera. I opened this up and all that's in here is the AV cord with a special connector on the end of it. And what else is in here? Cover for a battery. What's this? SD card. Oh, it's got an SD card in here. Oh, wow, bonus. I get a free SD card out of this. How big an SD card is this? Well, this is going to be kind of useless. And I'll tell you why this is going to be kind of useless, because it is a relatively low capacity SD card. It's a whopping 16 megabytes, not gigs, 16 megabytes. I couldn't even store one photo from my DSLR on this. Not one photo. I think my video camera would be hard pressed to store one photo on 16 megabytes. So completely useless. And that's probably why it's still in the box, because the person that owned the camera realized that the included SD card was useless. We can throw that out. The SD card, again, useless. It's a small one. Okay, what do we got here? This is a compact camera stand. You can put your camera on here, and I guess it has a, is this a shutter release? It looks to be a shutter release of some type. But it's a compact camera stand. That looks like a shutter release cable, doesn't it? But it doesn't seem to pull out from here. Must come out. There we go. Okay, so you can put your camera on a stand and a shutter release to take a picture without touching the camera. It'd be like good for if you're doing stop motion. That actually might come in useful for something like mounting a camera on a dash of a car. Like a video camera or something, right? That actually could be useful, because you can point it any which way. Okay, well, that piece might be useful. The shutter release, not so much, because I'm not dealing with film cameras anymore. But that is what that is. Okay, what's in this? What is this? What is this thing? It's heavy. It's a little tripod. It is a small tripod. Excellent. Cool. And it's got it's like a shutter release on it too. But this is a little tiny tripod that you can use on a tabletop. And, oh, telescopic legs. And they lock. Well, this extends about 4 feet. Obviously, you're not putting a heavy camera on this thing because, well, it'll just fall down. So when you pull the legs out on this, they all lock in place. Except for one is not locking. There, now it locks. And you just turn them. You turn them, and then they drop back in. As you're supposed to. Turn them, and then they all collapse. Give them a turn. That's how that works. What else is in here? Some film. Look at that. 2 brand new unused films. Kodak Max. No, this stuff would not be usable. I mean, you could probably expose it. When's the expiry date on this? This was used before. There'll be a date on here somewhere. Yeah, developed before November 2003. So, yeah, 20 years old. Could you still use this? Yeah, probably. You probably could use this film, but it's not going to look very good. Maybe I'll put it up on Facebook Marketplace. 2 rolls of unused 24 exposure film. Vintage. Use at your own risk. Well past its expiration date. But hey, you could get a real surprise with what that would produce. Here's some Ilford FP4. This is going to be black and white film. And this came from Giles Camera, 1510 London Road. It was $2.79 pounds. This came from the UK. And this would be, well, this is black and white film. 20 exposure, black and white. You can see the difference in the color of the emulsion on black and white film. And again, well past its expiry date. Could it be exposed? Sure. Is it going to have anything worth developing? Well, you get a nice grainy experience, I'm sure, with it. I don't know what the best before date on this one was. November 92, so this is even older. Can you imagine what a mess this would develop to? It's almost worth putting it in my film camera and just exposing it to see what it will do. Okay, so that's junk. Little camera stand, that's junk. What other junk is in here? We already know that DVD from the other box. I just threw it in here. Get rid of that. And get rid of that. Don't need that manual. Don't need that manual. What other junk is in here? Well, there's a camera. There's a couple cameras actually. There's a little, what is this thing? 3.2 megapixels, so it's not a very high-end camera. It's got a Xeon flash on it though. That's kind of cool. DXG, who is that? MPEG-4. DXG, so the brand is DXG. Never heard of them. But, oh, looks like the batteries have gone corroded in this. I bet you still got batteries in it. Ah! Oh my god. Dirty shit. I think this thing's going to be a lost cause, this one. And yet, it says, used before March 2018. That one didn't corrode, but these other ones sure did. Same time frame on this. March 2018. This must be the Chinese batteries. Made in China? Yeah, it's got Chinese writing on it. Oh, made in USA. Well, that was made in USA. What about this other one that's leaking? Made in USA. And there's an SD card in this camera. I wonder if the SD card's got anything on it. $512 megabyte SD card. Oh yeah, look at the contacts. I bet you this, whatever's on there, I bet you is lost. Well, we'll try. I'll try. I'm going to plug this in my computer and see if there's anything on it. I doubt whether I'm going to be able to get anything off there. I'll use my old reader. I don't want to use my new reader because I don't want to damage it, but I'll get my old card reader out to see if I can read anything off this card. Yeah, I tried plugging this into my computer and I can't read anything off of it. It's likely the battery, corrosive crap from the battery got into it and it's corroded something on the circuit board in here. So I don't know whether we're going to be able to get anything off of it at all. To say the camera itself is a lost cause, I don't think there's any snowball's chance in hell that this thing's going to work. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe it will work, but I think that that's probably pretty unlikely. So I got 4 rechargeable batteries. I have no idea even how to turn this thing on. I would imagine that it turns on automatically when you open it. Oh, there's a power button here. What does this do? Nah, this thing's shot. This is not turning on. This one's shot. Let's take it apart. Let's take it apart. Let's see what's in it. This one won't be going bad together. This one will be going into the garbage can when I'm done with it, I'm pretty sure. But we'll take it apart and see what's in it. And then we'll look at the rest of the cameras and stuff in here. I've got a couple that I'm saving for later. One of them is this Nikon Coolpix, which would be a nice camera, and it probably is functional. But the problem is, the person who owned it, they gave it to me. They lost the cable to charge it, and it's a proprietary cable. And the cable, I guess, I don't know whether they couldn't get it or the cost of the cable was so high that they just abandoned it and walked away. But there's no other way to power this camera up. There's no other way to charge the battery other than with that cable or with a standalone battery charger for that little lithium-ion battery, which I don't have a charger for this. Let's see how this thing comes apart. Okay, I got all the screws out. This thing should just fall apart. If it was a Sony, it would. Sony, you pull out the screws and you're in like Flynn. This thing here, pull out the screws and like it doesn't want to do anything. It's like it's all still stuck together. We will see how bad that corrosion is momentarily once this thing opens up and reveals its secrets. Okay, that should release the side, and yet it doesn't because there's one more screw down here. Now the side cover should come off and unplug. And just as I thought, there is corrosion in here. We'll disconnect these connectors. You see, when the battery's leaked, it's leaked onto the board here. If I pull the board right out, we'll see probably a lot more on the back side. It's got as many screws as a Handycam in it. Holy smoke. Now, this board should lift out. should. Unless there's another screw under here somewhere that's holding it in place. It almost feels like there's another screw. And there, it looks like there might be one right here. Nope. It just seems like there's another screw holding this board in place. It's ridiculous the number of screws this thing's got on it. Okay, now, well, this little circuit board left out. As I say, it's for what this thing is. It's like it's got a lot of stuff in it. For oh, there's a screw here. No wonder. I was wondering why this thing wasn't releasing. There's another screw right at the front here. As I say, there's a lot of crap in this little camera for what it is, and it seems like there's still another screw in here, and I don't see it. But something is certainly holding this thing together. Like this board should just lift right off of the... it should just lift right off of this thing and it's stuck. What the heck is holding it? Weird. It just does not want to let go. It's almost like something right here is holding it. Like right there. Oh, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be soldered down to the battery terminals. That's what's holding it up. It's the battery terminals right here. There certainly is corrosion on this one, and that's why this one's not turning on, and that's why this one's never going to turn on. And this is why people should not leave batteries in equipment, because when you leave batteries in equipment, you're asking for trouble. I'm not even going to bother unsoldering that. I'm just going to cut them off. It's faster. Cut off the battery terminals. There. Now I can rip this thing apart. And there is all the corrosion. Little high voltage capacitor here. 330 volts. The giant photo flash. Yeah, we'll make sure that that sucker doesn't have any juice in it. Shouldn't. But that'll charge up to like 300 volts and fire that flash tube on the front here. It's got a little flash tube turned into a strobe light. It could be turned into a strobe light. That's this piece of crap. You can see where all the corrosion is right here. Right? Battery acid. It'll do that every time. Okay, so that one's shot. This is going in the bin right now because you know, this one's just beyond repair. Everything, screws, everything in the bin. Okay. What else do I have? What other goodies did I get here? I'm saving the best for last, by the way. Lumix. This is Panasonic. It's in a little case and it's a little camera. And what I don't know is, does this one work? Well, I can find out because I can load this one up with a memory card and some batteries. This one takes 2 batteries. I have 2 Panasonic branded batteries. They just so happen that they were in the camera and they are not leaking. They're nickel metal hydride batteries. Let me go and dig up a small memory card for this thing. I don't know how many megapixels this thing is, but I'm going to load a 16 megabyte card in here because that's what would have come with it, was a 16 megabyte card. Power on. Does it turn on? It might not even work. Okay, is this thing even going to turn on? This one might be dead too. We'll take this one apart and see if it's just something minor on this one. Although I don't think there's anything minor on any digital camera. If it doesn't turn on, they're generally beyond repair. In most cases anyway. Unless it's just a connection problem or a fuse is tripped. Like the last one was full of battery acid, so that was a lost cause. But if we can get this thing to turn on, that would be, I mean, it's like useless. It's probably only 2 megapixels or so. It's not going to be a real high resolution camera, that's for sure. Okay, that comes off like that. And things falling off of it. The switch is right here. It just applies a contact across here to turn it on. You know, this is what we call foobar. Hence why it was given to me. The Nikon also might be shot as well. Yeah, this one's shot. This is going in the garbage quicker than the other one, because this one here is just, I mean, it's dead. It won't turn on. There's no power. Total non-serviceability. You know, I don't know what happened to it. Maybe it got wet, got dropped. Who knows? To say it was given to me because it was being tossed out. So, hey, I got a pair of nickel metal hydride batteries out of that. So I guess I'm not doing too bad there. That leaves this one here. Whether this one can be workable or not, I got to figure out a way to charge the battery so I can see if this one will turn on. So I've left the battery sit on charge here for a while. Charge it at 3.9 volts at about 400 milliamps. Should be enough of a charge in here now to turn this thing on and see if I can take some pictures. Where's the power button? There it is there on top. Set the time and date. Yeah. Alright, so this thing's got a flash in it too. Press the flash button and it will flash. Shutter release. Why is it not taking a picture? Okay, flash didn't want to go. Probably because it's not needed. Battery's not fully charged, of course, but I'm just taking some pictures on my bench here. Has a zoom lens. You can zoom it in or zoom it out. Maybe that one. Ah, there we go. So that button turns on the viewfinder. So you use the eyepiece instead of, it's got a color viewfinder. Ah, I'm out of memory. So I just took a few pictures. I only put a small memory card in here because, well, I had a 16 megabyte. I'll go and put the, I'm going to show these pictures too. I'll go put the 64 megabyte and see, because this does video. I want to see how the video looks on this thing. So I'll turn it back on. And on here there's a button for video. I don't know what that does. One of them is one, the other's the other. HD, is that what that means? And it's recording in 1080i or 1080p. Probably won't record for more than a few seconds before it runs out of memory. And it ran out of memory. Standard definition recording. High definition recording. And 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. And it's got 3 minutes. 3 minutes and 1 second of recording time in this mode, but the quality is going to be terrible. I'll put the video on if it'll load. So anyway, that's this one. I recorded a couple of clips I'm in high definition. So high speed and high definition, so one only records, I think, 10 frames per second. This is HD, and I'll stop it. I think the memory is probably full. Oh, I got 22 seconds, it tells me. 22 seconds of recording. Look at this. Start recording. 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. I'll stop it. And we'll switch to the high speed recording. And we'll try this one. This should do faster frame rate. Record. And it's got 3 minutes. 3 minutes and 1 second of recording time in this mode, but the quality is going to be terrible. I'll put the video on if it'll load. So anyway, that's this one. We'll stop this. So this little camera appears to work. I've got another one here as well. I don't know if it works or not. Should I show it in this one, or yeah, I'll show you guys in this one. So in this box here, it's Sony value kit. So let's open this up and see what's in here. It's heavy. It's got a case in it, and that's all it's got in it. But the case is a lot heavier than just a case would be. It has a high-8 video camera. Now I already know that it doesn't work. It's got the C, and of course this. It's got the C, was it 3031 or whatever it is. The code that comes up for the take-up spool not spinning. So we're going to take this one apart. I'm not going to do it in this video. We're going to take this one apart. I'll do another video tomorrow and get this one running. And then what I think I'm going to do, because I got some batteries with it, this uses the good old Lithium M, which a couple of my Digital 8 cameras also can use, which I never had any batteries. So I'm going to charge the battery up. Once I get the camera running, which I'm pretty confident I will get it running, I'll probably sell this one. I don't need to keep it. I always get people asking me for high 8 cameras and video 8 cameras, so this was one that I'll probably turn around and sell. But anyway, we'll get this one running, and what I'll do is I'll load up a high 8 tape. We'll take the high 8 tape out. I'll take out a Digital 8, a high 8. I'll take out that little DVD camera that records straight to discs, and we'll do some shooting. We'll do a comparison between and I'll do it all in standard definition. Actually, I might even take one of my little HDV cameras, but put it in DV mode, just so I can show what a DV camera did in standard definition compared to, say, a Digital 8 and a high 8 camera. But anyway, this will be one that we'll look at in the next video. I'll do it as a separate one just for this camera because, as I say, I know the camera has a problem. So there's no point in doing it in this one where I'm showing off what my haul was. We'll put it as a separate video. And what's this? I got some more crap. Oh, another little tripod. Another little table stand. See, I was finding all kinds of crap in this, and of course it will extend as well. Anyway, yeah, we'll do one for this, repairing this one and get this one running. We'll do that next. So the Nikon, or the Coolpix works. I don't have a charger for it, but anyway, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Bye.